Go Pizza presents SDP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wild.
Tampa, man.
I just
Tampa.
can't stand it. I just can't stand it.
How do they keep doing this? It's amazing. You know what? What a great deal. Brayden Point just signed before the show started. Obviously, you've heard the deal by now, but in case you haven't or need to be reminded, Brayden Point, 3 years, $6.75 million per season. It's about $20 million, 2025, for the next 3 years. Now, here's the deal with this. We haven't heard anything about bonus structure yet. So I don't know. But you would hope, if you're him, that you at least got some bonuses. And Archaeology Guy made a really good point and said, Brayden Point needs to be deprogrammed because he's clearly been brainwashed in Tampa. Just like they all have. It's absolutely amazing.
You know who should be mad about Brayden Point's deal right now? A lot of Leaf fans are mad about it. You're taking it as a personal affront to you. Every single member of the NHLPA.
Oh, true.
Every single member of the NHLPA. Listen, Brayden Point was always going to have to sign a bridge deal. That's not shocking. It's not shocking that he got $3 million. It's not even shocking that he got less than Mitch Marner. If he's going to take a bridge deal, he was going to get less than Mitch Marner. The fact of the matter is, on a long-term deal, Brayden Point should be getting at least what Mitch Marner got. Let's say $11 million bucks, give or take a couple $100,000, whatever.
Yep.
Which is a ridiculous statement in and of itself.
Yes.
That we're saying give or take $100,000 to a normal person.
This is what I'm saying. There is no little guy here.
Right.
None.
There's a littler guy. No, you're not little. Littler.
Like Matt Reed, who is on a PTO, has had an NHL career full of millions of dollars. Not a little guy. Height. Not very tall. Also Leaf killer. Scored the other day. It was nice. For the Leafs. The fact that Brayden Point's coming in at under $8 million, it's like, dude, what? Are they not the new Blackhawks? Like, they just get everything they ask for?
Well, at the time, the Blackhawks paid a lot for Taves and Kane.
They did.
10.5 was a lot at the time.
That's when they stopped
And they
being
were
the
like,
Blackhawks,
and
I suppose.
people were like, whoa, that's crazy. And then they were like, but no, Brent Seabrook's definitely worth that.
Well, it was funny, like, okay, no team has ever won the Cup with a $10 million or more player. They're looking at the Kane and Taves contracts on Chicago and ignoring every other goofy thing that they did that screwed their team over. Dude, first of all, they won the 2015 Stanley Cup with 3.5 defensemen. It was amazing that they pulled it off that time. It's not weird that it fell apart.
Timonen would get on the ice and go, and then be like, get off!
Yes. Yeah, literally.
Get off!
Can I bring up an interaction from Twitter?
Oh, please do.
Our dear friend Mike Stevens said, "This legitimately ruined my day."
Okay.
And that is probably top half rational takes.
And that is what Leafs Nation is thinking right now.
Can you just read my response to him, though?
And Adam Wild said, "Dude, we overpaid Marner, but you know who's still a Leaf? Marner. And for 6 years, it sucks, but it's also okay."
Yeah. It sucks, but it's okay.
There you go.
Well,
and the typical Leafs fans were not like, hey, congratulations, Brayden Point and Tampa Bay Lightning. We're like, us! Me! Us! And here's the thing. We thought we were done with the Mitch Marner contract. But from now on, for the rest of time, people will compare every RFA contract to Mitch Marner's RFA contract, and I can't fucking wait for it. Even 3 years from now. 3 years from now.
Mitch is excited to have that attached to his name forever.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. He won't regret it.
3 years from now, they'll be like, well, Mitch Marner's percentage was this. Can you believe how obnoxiously high that was? Look at this young stud.
Mikko
who's amazing.
Rantanen. Mitch Marner is praying for Mikko Rantanen to sign a long-term deal right now.
Or do you think he cares? He's like,
no, I don't think he gives a
whatever,
fuck.
I'm just going to cash my $10 million signing bonus. Or $15 million.
It's staggering. A staggering, unrelatable amount.
Can I ask you a question? And this is one that I've been thinking about for a while.
Okay.
Oh,
I've hinted at this before, but I'm not
ponderer.
Really sure. They call me Socrates Wild. Plato? Nope. Adam? Plato Wild? No, it didn't work. Who's the other guy?
Adam Stottle.
It's Adam Stottle.
Steve Dangle, everyone.
So here's my...
Coming in hot. Give him 6 years.
Wow.
8.5.
Wow. $8.5. $8.5. Because remember, he works for the internet and it doesn't pay. So
Give him $1 million internet dollars.
$1 million, yeah.
My brains.
We'll give you some credits you can use on Twitch, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Those are worth money.
You can't cash out. They can only exist inside Twitch. There you go.
Is Toronto paying a tax for not making it past the first round with its young stars?
Of course.
Yes, 100%.
If the Toronto Maple Leafs made it to even the second round, you have to wonder how different these contracts might look. So you guys agree?
If the
this is
Leafs
torture.
made like
This
a
conversation.
conference finals within the last 2 years, the guys would be
Which they should
taking
have.
deals to come here.
Yes.
Like, not even the guys they have re-signing. Guys would be
Dude,
coming
look
here.
at Carolina's offseason. Carolina's had an amazing offseason because they went 3 rounds deep.
Yep. I also look at it and think Toronto lost leverage with their RFAs, each of them, when they lost to Boston both times. And
Both
the
times.
reason for that is that the RFAs.
Both times in recent memory,
Yes.
if you want to stretch it,
Yeah,
Shut up, I heard you.
If you look at the RFAs, they probably looked at that and said, "Well, you need me. Mm-hmm. You flippin' need me. What else are you going to do?
just
You
torture.
can't even get past Boston." And really, the answer is we really can't get past Boston because it's the team, the players on the team, but in a weird backwards way. And I wish I'd sort of thought about this before Marner had signed, but it's sort of like, you know what? With Mitch Marner, it's like, what else are you going to do? Like, I look at Boston. Boston has not only a winning pedigree, they've won a cup in recent memory. They've been to the finals a couple of times since. They've been right there. They've got a nucleus of guys who are now older, but still in their primes. And Patrice Bergeron will be playing until he's 56 anyway. And they are signed to what are now great deals because they were long-term deals. The cap's risen since then.
Yes.
And the rookies are like, well, or the guys coming off ELCs are like, well, damn, I want to be a part of this because they're winning. And you look at Tampa Bay last year, and yes, they farted in the playoffs, okay? They sucked. However,
They
chances of-
worse than farted.
the chances of that happening again,
They thought it was a fart.
that's right.
Turned into something else.
It did.
And they had to change
Yeah.
their hockey pants. And they were in public restrooms, so they just threw them away.
Yeah.
They ran to that Starbucks. They asked, "Hey,
Yeah.
can I get the code?" And they're like, "No."
And there's no income tax, so they could buy them cheaper.
Guy in line is like, smells like someone shit their pants, and they just nervously giggled. Yeah. Wonder who that was. Too specific or what?
Anyway, the point I'm making is that Tampa and Boston, both guys who've had really good RFA signings this year, right? And maybe Tampa or maybe Boston's RFA signing didn't.
Where's Ryan Callahan right now?
Where is Ryan Callahan right now? I don't fucking know. I know he's gone. He's in Ottawa. Oh,
He's a
hey.
Sen.
Yeah, okay.
He's a Sen, sort of. Like, what?
Yeah, if he even makes a sense, we'll see. I think the point I'm trying to make here is that the older guys who are there are already stars. Kucherov, Stamkos, whatever, and then you've got Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak, I guess now, but he's not really old. And those guys are making it special. So these younger guys are coming in and going, man, I want to stay through this. I can make some money. I can make some money now, but I can make some money later, and maybe I just get a ring out of this. Yeah. Whereas the Leafs did not have that. The Leafs did not have a core group of guys. I mean, their big three, P.A. Parento, Brad Boyce.
What's his face?
Who else
I
was
keep
on that
forgetting?
team?
Guy from Pittsburgh, Nick Spaulding.
Nick Spaulding.
It's not that I forgot it; it's that I keep forgetting it.
Right.
That's how insignificant that little blip was.
Right.
Yeah.
That was what the Leafs had beforehand. And so that gives you a whole lot of RFA leverage as a team when you're like, hey, you know who we have? Marchand and Bergeron. And you know what they've done? Won things. What have you done? Whereas the Leafs are like, we have nothing and we've won nothing. And I think that's the point. Now, the Brayden point, if you will. But what I would say is, potentially, maybe I'm crazy, pie in the sky Adam here. I'm going to Adam Stottle this as well. Let's say the next round of guys. So I'm not going to say Travis Dermott in this one because it's too close. But if you have, say, the Sandman, Rasmus Sandin makes the team. Yeah. 3 years from now, Rasmus Sandin's a really good player, and there's a contract standoff.
Yeah, Elliot Friedman dropping a little bit of a bomb during the broadcast. Rasmus Sandin, no performance bonuses. on his
Well, he's
deal.
going to be pissed off when his next.
No, it'll make him
It's-
more money because it makes him so much more likely to make the team. Because if he had bonuses, it'd be a problem.
But it also.
Yeah, but-
he should hire Darren Ferris and make it a personal issue.
Has
and
anybody-
he'll be upset with Austin Matthews for 3 years.
And then call
Has
it
anybody
bullying.
asked his dad what do you think?
Yeah, right. Maybe. Hello, Rasmus, Mr. Sandin. No, the point.
Bob Sandin.
Bob Sandin. Hey, Bob Sandin. Bob Sandin Motors.
Hi, my
Bob
client,
Sandin refrigeration.
Oh, that's right.
my client feels slighted in a very specific way that strangely all of my other clients have felt slighted. Like,
Why do all of your clients hate Austin Matthews?
And love Europe so much.
Yeah, it's crazy. Why do they
so
keep flying to
weird.
Zurich? It's so weird. No. So let's say I'm just using Rasmus Sandin as an example, okay?
Yeah.
Because he's the best prospect that the Leafs have right now, and really and truly the only one who looks like, probably a lock to at least make the opening night roster,
Till
right?
he loses his spot to Nick Robertson, right? So.
That's right. It's true. Let's say it's defenseman Nick Robertson in a few years.
God damn it.
That joke really has legs. It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe how
Yep, really took off.
But what if the Leafs have won something at that point? And all the guys at 3 years from now, Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, Marner, all are halfway through their deals. And it's still a strong team because those guys are still there. Yes, you have to re-sign Riley at some point, whatever. My point is, they can look at RFAs at that point and go, you want to go somewhere else, or do you want to try to win a ring here?
It becomes, we don't need you. We
Yes.
have rings on our finger. If you want to win, you sign here. If you don't want to win, we'll ship you away. We've already won. We know how to win.
Bingo. And I think that's the key here. Now,
How did
I'm
Brayden
not
Point have that
I'm not-
same conversation?
I'm not explaining this away to explaining away Kyle Dubas' negotiating things. I think though, in retrospect, when you look at the negotiating he had to do, I'm not thrilled with the deals. It wasn't, as I said with Matthews, it was fine. It's fine. I can live with it. Marner, it's fine. I can live with it. There's a lot of people on Twitter who can't. And I think you got to get the fuck over it. Because the Leafs are really fucking good and you need to chill.
Yeah.
It's not holding up the team. If Mitch Marner signs for $9 million, who are you going to keep? Connor Brown? It's $2 million, guys. Relax.
Yeah,
the point is, after this season, what are they going to do with the defense, right? Does that $2 million hurt you then?
And what I'm hoping happens, because again, we got McAvoy, we got Point, for 3 years.
And then, boom.
Yeah, the sacrifice is they're on a wicked deal for the next 3 years. After that, boned. So people are talking about the length of the Leafs window. There might be a dip. Like I could see them maybe having an off year, potentially
Sure.
missing the playoffs.
Tampa missed the
something like
playoffs.
that. Yeah, I could see something like that happening.
That's when they drafted Duran, by the way. Fuckers. He got Sergachev out of it.
These guys. So, but Marner signed for 6.
Yep.
If McAvoy is healthy and performs, what's he going to get? If Besser is healthy and performs, what's he going to get? If Brayden Point throws up 3 40-goal seasons,
Which he could. Easily.
there's a chance that 3 years from now we're talking about Brayden Point, the highest paid player in the NHL. Seriously.
In NHL history.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, because I think Yager
It's
is
like a
still...
4th round pick or something.
Yager
Like-
is still, is he not? Or is it now Connor McDavid? I think didn't Yager make 13 or 14 or
I just
some
go by
weird
salary cap era.
I will.
Yeah, 90s goofiness. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yager made like 15 mil. Sakic, I want to say Sakic made 17
thing?
or
Wow.
something.
There was a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think
He
Sakic...
signed an offer sheet, by the way.
It's hilarious when everybody's like, who has won the cup with 2 players on the roster of over $10 million? Never happened. Actually, it did. Colorado with Forsberg and Sakic.
Oh, interesting.
It did happen?
It did happen.
Well, in the salary cap era.
I'm pretty
I guess.
yeah.
In the salary... Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but in the salary cap era, yeah. No, it has not happened yet.
the
It will.
List of highest paid NHL players of all time. Number 1, Jaromir Jagr.
That's career earnings. Or is it per year? Or single season?
Nah, his salary... Oh, that doesn't make sense. I don't think this list is very accurate. It's from Wikipedia.
Yeah, no. I think
Top
like Quant
contract,
Hockey or something will have it, or Cap Friendly might even have it. Anyway,
Yeah, anyways.
so the Leafs window should be longer than you think. And here, let me read you this tweet from Mark Masters. So right now, I think there's a game tonight. Leafs have their AHL squad.
Right.
If you're on the roster tonight,
Oh, well,
you're not in a great mood.
I do want to talk about that, but continue.
Yes. So here's here's what's going on at practice. Okay, so these guys aren't playing. Janssen, Matthews, Nylander. Bomb. Kapanen, Tavares, Marner. Bomb. Mikheyev, I like. We'll talk about him.
Yeah.
Kerfoot, Moore, Timashov, Goat, Spezza.
Yo, I got to tell you.
Extras, Baptiste, Clune. They're not going to factor in. Here, wait, I'm not done.
Okay.
Muzzin, Barry, Riley, Cece, Sandine, Marincin. Extras, Kiwi Halmy, and Duzak with Anderson.
Wait,
and
where's Harper?
Wool.
Oh, he's playing tonight.
He's playing tonight. Listen, what does all that money get you? That bomb ass roster that's still not even complete.
So
because it doesn't have Hyman or Dermott.
And what you need to do is look at the roster next year, and they've got. Jesse's mentioned this before, and I think he's absolutely right. Why do you not pay for LTIR contracts and grab assets if you're the Leafs? Yeah. Like Horton and Clarkson are done after this year, and it's so fitting that Clarkson finishes his contract with the Leafs. Like, if you only could have told us 5 years ago, 7 years ago.
Does Dave Nonis have a job?
Yeah, this is the funny part, is that I was thinking last night.
If Dave Nonis has a job, there's no hockey god.
I was thinking he does. He plays with the Ducks. Or he plays with the Ducks. He does not play with the Ducks.
I hope he does.
Scouts with the Ducks. But interestingly, I was thinking last night, I'm like, what season is this show in? Like, so as of Saturday, we're officially launching into our 7th season. And you know how I know that?
Wow.
David Clarkson signed a fucking 7-year contract.
But are you counting the end of the season when you started?
No. So it's just, there's that little blip where we started at the end of the playoffs.
Because you started
and randomly,
in the playoffs.
we started at the Stanley Cup final, basically.
That
third round.
Conference final.
That's
We don't count that as, this would be season 8 then, and that doesn't count. But after that, I was like, wow, we are going into we've completed 6 full rounds of this. We're doing season 7, and that launches Sunday, by the way. We got some news about that, too. We should talk about that towards the end of the show. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we are at a stage where I think the Leafs have to look at things like that. Where you can grab assets in the offseason from distressed teams like the Leafs. Do you know what I mean? Teams that can't afford those guys. And that's got to be the way forward for it in terms of asset management. Guys that, like, draft picks that you can flip for things at the trade deadline, or you know what I mean? Like, that's your currency.
The whole reason I was into Kyle Dubas being the Leafs GM is I wanted him to get creative. The fact he had to get into this
pissing match with all of the RFAs.
He got into that with Nylander because Nylander was really freaking good. And he got into it with Matthews because he was even better. Or I guess he avoided it with Matthews because he's even better. And he got into it with Marner because he's really freaking good. And he's paying $11 million to another guy. And that guy got 47 freaking goals. So, I don't even really blame him for anything. The fact that he's got to get creative with the cap. What are we going to do about these draft picks? How are we going to fill out the bottom of the roster? That is his problem, and I've had faith in him to do it since day one.
Now,
this year in a lot of ways is Dubas's first as Leafs GM, which is outrageous to say after he signed John Tavares, but
it's really his team now.
Yes.
Yeah. Quick question for you. If you were Brian Burke and you were doing a hit on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the second best sports radio station in the city.
The second best sports radio station in the city of Toronto.
I don't know.
What would Brian Burke say after the Brayden Point signing today to inflame Leafs Nation?
Well, the difference is we have a player who's committed to win with his team.
No.
Have you been working on your Brian Burke?
Not really.
No, you should though.
You should work on it. That's the next step.
Yeah.
I don't want to get kicked in the back of the head at work, though.
Yeah,
Jesse,
but that'd be funny.
You know it would.
I think Brian Burke would
all the
appreciate
onlookers.
that. Brian Burke does not have a thin skin. He can probably handle it.
No, I chirped him about Tyler Biggs on live television.
I know.
During the trade deadline.
That might have been painful.
Yeah.
That was a little. Yeah, but if you're Brian Burke, you're saying to everybody these guys are committed to winning with their team rather than themselves.
That's kind of the responsibility falls on the leadership core. The Steven Stamkoses, Victor Hedmans, talking to them and convincing a young player that they have a chance to win.
You have to throw in Dubas there. Dubas failing at his negotiations.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dubas isn't even as old as some of those players I just mentioned.
That's a good one.
It's all about experience. You want to come in, you think it's easy to do, you just plop in your numbers and away you go. It's not that easy. I can't wait. I can't wait to see
It's happening this afternoon. We know it. He's going to check in with some show whether it's Tim and Sid.
Okay, put some respect on Sportsnet's name.
Whether
Sorry.
it's one of the lesser known shows like Tim and Sid or JD and the other guy.
Wow! That's Bunkus and Bennett, sir. How dare you?
See, again, I think Ben would find that very funny.
He would.
So here's the deal. It seems like you pay a tax for not winning. When you win, things get easier. And the Tampa, you can say what you want, the regular season champs last year were the Tampa Bay Lightning. And that does matter when it comes to RFA, because what happens when the regular season champs? You've got the best shot on paper of winning the cup. And let's be honest, nobody expected the Lightning to be out in the first round last year. No. Nobody expects it this year. We expect that they will go further because that's the smart thing to do.
I was trying to think of beefs on the Leafs.
Yeah.
Like what beefs are left. Because Rasmus Ristolainen and Tyson Barrie, there was that little incident that Ristolainen was not punished for. And it was just like, God, Nazem Kadri would have loved this. So I've been thinking about where there is hate in the NHL, because it spices up sports a little bit. The Habs are good at that. They have this random rivalry with the Panthers. It's because they're assholes. So I was thinking, when do you think the next time will be that the Columbus Blue Jackets beat the Tampa Bay Lightning? Might be 5 years.
Oh, it could be.
Okay,
Yeah,
if Tampa is worth anything, they will stomp the Blue Jackets into the ground. Every game against them will be Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. That team may never win against us ever again. If Columbus does beat them, I'll be like, ha, you're soft.
To that point, I was thinking about this, and this is my hazy baby brain thing, but I was thinking about if Marner had signed that offer sheet that Columbus apparently had offered him. It was the Wild and Columbus that apparently had actually offer sheeted him. Mm-hmm. If he'd signed it, if you're the Leafs, you're like, Columbus, eh? Yeah, go ahead, because I want that first round pick.
Those draft picks look awfully nice right now.
It sounds like we could get 4 more Mitch Marners out of that. You know what I mean? That's a
set up our future right there.
Delicious. I'm just saying. Now, the lineup tonight, Steve mentioned, again against Montreal. So this is going to be a worthwhile game to watch, just because if you love chaos, this is the night for you.
Yeah. I think JD Bunkus had a good point. He's like, well, these are the guys who are fighting.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And and Mike Babcock made a point about that. Yeah. So
you have a bad game tonight, you're dead.
Yes. So Leafs lines for Montreal: Petan, Shore, Agostino. That's line 1. Line 2, Korshkov, Gaudette, and Reed. Line 3, Archibald, Brooks, Bracco, which you have to think is the first line in the Marlies, right?
Well, Archibald signed to an AHL deal. That's contention
maybe with Korshkov. I don't know, because Korshkov and Archibald are Engvall, Ilniuk, and Aberg on the 4th line. So I'm pretty sure that Aberg's not going to make it.
Good news for Aberg.
Now here's a top pairing for the ages.
Oof.
Ben Harpur, Justin Hall.
Oh, it's Ben. Oh, and Justin Hall.
Yeah, isn't that 2 righties?
No. Oh. No, Harper's left.
Hold on. We're gonna make room for Harper on the roster, and he's a left shot.
There's no chance.
way.
There's just no chance.
Gravel and Schmaltz, Rubens and Liljegren, Hollowell and Lindgren. Those are who. This is what's skating, and then Hutchinson, and then they say intermediate goalie. We don't know who the intermediate goalie is because Neuwirth is absent. So Hutchinson will start, but they will have.
I thought it was Hutchinson and Neuwirth.
It is not Neuwirth, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Wohl, as far as I know, where's he in Scott been? Did they assign him?
I have no idea.
I know Wohl's injured.
Here's the thing. And this is, I actually really appreciate this about Mike Babcock, because I don't think we've seen him do this before. Maybe I'm wrong, but he said to Jonas Siegel and a bunch of other reporters, I'm just loading the tweet right now. He said, Mike Babcock said the goal of the Leafs lineup tonight was to put a bunch of people under a serious amount of duress. In other words, you're going to be playing against NHL players, and there's no NHL guys on your team to help you. You're by yourself. Doesn't that say a lot? Because look, it says no NHL guys on your team to help you. Aberg, Reed, Shore.
Did you say Agostino?
Agostino's in there too.
All guys so good.
All those guys have played. And I wonder about, does that basically kind of say it there? And I wonder, he's giving Shore, Petan, and Agostino the best shot. They're the first line.
Yeah, and Shore is another guy I think has looked okay.
Yeah, has he looked
Yeah,
better
he's
than
been okay.
Spezza or Gauthier though? No, he hasn't.
He scored a goal.
Yeah,
Good
but
for him.
yeah. What about the play though? Because
You could carry him as a spare.
Sure.
Because the spares they have at the skate today, like Baptiste, I don't even know if he signed to an NHL deal.
Right.
And Clune definitely isn't.
No.
So.
Yeah. And they say Spezza's going to be a winger now. That's where he fits in best.
Well, they'll play on their strong sides, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I think they'll
you know-
have happen is like what Matthews and Nylander do.
Yeah.
Like
just kind of swap
You just
on
take your
ice.
you just take your face-offs on the strong side and go. Here's
Right.
why I think, and this is why I think that this is kind of smart.
It's not such a knock on Spezza.
We
Like,
also have
Gautier's
to
a
get
really
to
effective skater.
the better Babcock quote from today.
Oh, okay.
When-
Hold it for just one
yeah,
second.
whatever this is.
I like the idea of Goat and Spezza taking the face-offs on their strong sides because it's proven that works.
And Spezza's a really strong face-off guy.
And
or at
Goat's
least was last
Goat's
year.
apparently been really good too.
We did not expect Freddie Gauthier to be this good.
No.
I wrote him up. I thought he was going to get traded.
He's been very good.
I put him behind Nick Shore based on nothing. Like, I'll just straight up say it, based on nothing.
So, now we got to remember that Freddie Gauthier is playing guys that are not necessarily NHLers.
Right.
Right.
I mean, they all are.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, it's nice to see him look good. I also think, and Mike Babcock's looking at 36-year-old Jason Spezza and saying, can this guy handle the defensive load I'm going to put on him? That's the key. It was Patrick Marleau when he played center for the Leafs that first season. Remember they were down a guy.
Yeah.
It was Matthews that was injured or something, and so they put Marleau at center, and he looked really good. And that's because Patrick Marleau is a very good hockey player. But Patrick Marleau did not sign in Toronto to be a center for 82 games. And I think with Spezza, it's probably going to have to be the same thing. You're an older guy. We don't want to burn you out. We are going to need you shorthanded for this. Why don't we just make you a winger, which you've been many times in your career, and let Go handle the defensive stuff. Let Spezza do the face-offs when you need him to. I don't know how that's like a perfect fit.
We've been beating up Marner, but something he's got to get credit for is he's been talking about getting better at draws.
Well, he needs to take them because they don't like to play centerman on the freaking penalty kill.
Because I was thinking about Spezza on the penalty kill, and I'm like, I'm sorry, why? Because Kapanen and Marner. Why? Kapanen and Marner is probably their top two forwards for the PK.
Yep.
Janssen can. So is that no longer a thing? Or is Mikheyev going to learn how to? Gauthier's done it a little bit. Like, you're just going to throw Spezza in there based on what? I'm sorry. Trevor Moore's killed him a few times.
Yeah. So he's looked really good, too.
If Spezza is... Spezza, to me, I don't think he's ever really killed penalties, as far as I know. He's a power play specialist at this point in his career, which is perfectly fine because the Leafs power play sucked last year. So they got this new coach.
How could they?
I know, it's freaking unbelievable. And I was at the first game. It looked so automatic. It was such a joke. I was just giggling. I was like, oh my God, they're going to have the top unit in the entire league this year. And then they went on a slump, and I'm like, well, because you watched it, and by the end of October,
I thought you meant
the
the
mixed thing
preseason.
is
I'm
all
like,
they have.
Yeah.
No, last season they were the greatest thing to ever hit ice, and then by
Then they
January,
closed in on Marner, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, by January everybody realized, oh, it's just one move. We can just contain Mitch, and there's nothing else.
Forcing Matthews to shoot in a phone booth.
Yeah, and that's why they're developing the one-timer this year, so they can get Matthews on the other side, so they can do the one-timer. But then did you hear Elliott on the last broadcast?
No.
Being like, it doesn't make sense for Matthews to develop the one-timer because then he's not taking his wrist shot, which is the most deadly thing on earth.
How about
But
he
it's
can do
another
both?
option.
It's another option, but if you're a defensive team, you'd rather him take the slap shot. You give that up all day because then he's not taking the wrist shot.
But what if it becomes as good as his wrist shot?
We
forget Matthews is 21.
Then it has to.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
has
thing.
to.
He has to get to that point.
It's got to
right now.
It's got to be like Line A good.
Yeah, right now.
good.
If the wrist shot is 95%, the slap shot's 80%, you're like, fucking just take your slap shot.
I think it's good to have options. I don't think there's any reason why you can't have options.
And I think that is a reason, or a big reason, why Timoshov's getting such a long look. One, Kevin Papetti, I think, pointed out that he needs waivers, which I didn't even consider because
He's
everyone
been
on the
around
Marlies
forever.
is 22 to me in my head. I know they're not. He's a good power play player.
Well, and Mike Babcock said about him today that when they said, you really think like Timoshov's going to make the team? And Mike's like, why not?
He's looked
If
fine.
Mike Babcock says why not, that means he's a fan. And he was a fan last year, and I kind of forgot about that. But what Mike Babcock loves is that, yes, he's not tall, but he's thick, and he protects the puck. And
Yeah.
that's important.
The Leafs don't have a lot of like actually small guys. You know what? Tyler Ennis was small.
Yes.
Tyler Ennis
Nick
was
Batan's
actually
small. Jeremy Bracco's small.
Yes. Yeah, Jeremy Bracco looks like a kid. But and he talks like one of the kids from It. Like he's just so motor mouth. I love him. But again,
If he
hasn't
ever
stood
makes it
out
into the
enough.
lineup here,
He's going to
will-
be such a mouth.
people. Well, yeah, I know. People will just fall in love with that guy.
He's going to have to be a package deal with Clune. His mouth is going to get him in so much shit. And,
Well, you got Harper.
oh my God.
No,
But there's something there with this roster. Like, I don't know. I'm excited.
Steve or Jesse, what was the Mike Babcock?
You mentioned it.
Did I? Say it again. Sorry.
Everyone replying to Luke Fox when he mentions that Martin Marinson's gotten thicker. Everybody writing, Babcock says Martin Marinson got thick. Favorite Leafs thing of the day. Continue.
Well, and Pierre Engvall has a neck with many C's. You see, because he's got a very long neck. You see,
See,
this is the thing about him.
How many C's in neck?
6 for Toronto.
I just want to shout out our boy.
69 C's.
69 C's. That's how thick Marinson got.
I want to shout out our boy. That's Cappy for a very good tweet about the lineup tonight.
Welcome back to Twitter, damn it. You've
Hats
been
off,
so good.
I know. Hats off to the Maple Leafs organization for putting together 2015 night this year. Great way to honor the squad that accomplished so much during that unforgettable season. And that is tonight's lineup. It's going to be fun. I don't care what anyone says. This, of the games of the preseason, this is the one that is the most fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so jacked to see this roster. Now, I do want to ask you about
I don't know.
Iliyan Nikolov.
Mikheyev. So
Okay.
they keep calling him Mikheyev on the broadcast. And I had someone from, remember when we had, when the Leafs first got Kasky Suo? Someone
Kasky
Well, and someone from Finland goes,
Jim Houston!
No,
Kaskasuo!
no, that was
Ferraro, wasn't it?
No, Houston did
Romanuk.
Houston did it too on
Kasky
Saturday.
Kasky Sayu.
Say you, yeah.
Romanuk didn't care too much about pronunciation. He knew who you knew.
Well,
He was like the Don Cherry of the booth. But anyway,
you know. So anyway, someone from Russia is like, no, it is Mikheyev.
it is Mikheyev.
Yeah, and they keep saying Mikheyev, and I guess he's Mikheyev
They've
now.
been saying Mikheyev for a long time, too.
I know, and the broadcast started, and on TSN and Sportsnet, he's Mikheyev.
Okay,
Who's
what?
telling them that?
I don't know. It's going to be like a Kulemin scenario, and Bob Cole's going to have to go, I asked the fucking guy, and he said his name was Kulemin.
Caberlet for a long time. It's Cabrera.
Caberla.
Which was Harry Neal, I think, right?
Yeah,
Harry Neal and
Yep.
Joe Bowen.
People still argue about Caberlet and Caberlet.
just
Is
Thomas.
Is it Caberlet? Is it Caberlet?
I knew him as shoot the fucking puck, man.
Yes, 100%.
God damn. He had the
100%.
best shot on the team.
Yeah.
He would never, he had like 3 goals a year. God damn.
One of the moments I wish I had like an office camera to just stare into, like Jim, was Thomas Caberlet wins the accuracy competition in the All-Star game. I think he might have gone 4 for 4. He's like the second or third player to
Yeah.
ever do it. And they go, "You gonna shoot more?" He goes, "No." It's just like, I want to die. I hate this team.
I would just like to mention that I am officially freaked out about Ben Harpur. Because here's the thing. He's bad against lineups that are bad. These are not NHL lineups. And
Who did he even get walked by in that game?
Oh, man. I think Manny tweeted it, too.
couple times.
And, then
And he's just
LOL.
laughing.
Like,
He's
he's
just laughing at the video clip. And like,
they walk him. Like, it's...
Yeah.
So I wonder, okay, so here's the question. Mike Babcock is a bit of a guy that likes to manipulate things in the media, right? So we keep hearing every game, he
praises him.
points it out and praises him. Why? Is there another reason other than Mike Babcock hasn't learned and is going to use this player? Can there be something else? Is there an alternate reality, Steve Dangle?
yes, I think it's a different version of what they did with Zach Hyman, at least when he was with the Marlies. They just kept going, everyone, for the love of God, work as hard as this guy, and you have a shot at making the Leafs. And then Hyman ended up making it himself. But like, in terms of being a workhorse, in terms of effort, Hyman was the standard that they held up. So there's all these spots available. Well, there's 2 spots really available on the bottom pair. There's an entire pair up for grabs.
Which is huge.
Yes, and Ben Harpur is certainly not the most talented. He might be, honest to goodness, the least talented defender left.
Well, he's not an NHL player.
No, he's not. But you know what? Like, to his credit, he looks like he's trying. It looks like it's fumbly chaos, but he does look like he's trying.
Dude, if I was at Leafs camp, I would try
you
too.
could try
It doesn't make me an
too.
NHL player. We all try.
Well, that's the knock on Pontus Aberg, though, is that he doesn't even freaking try.
Yeah,
Really?
he has all the skill.
Yeah, it's been
And that's-
the knock on
I
him for a
haven't read
long
that.
time.
That's why I sort of thought, like, when the Leafs brought him in, I was like, yeah, I don't see that happening. Mike Babcock does not like people with motivation issues.
No.
Yeah.
Like, all the guys on that team, all the players that are on that team, of the players we've seen grow, who hasn't made significant strides? And they've been pissed off about it. They've hated it. They put Morgan Riley through the blender. They put
Kadri.
Nylander on the fourth line, Marner on the fourth line, Kadri when he was here on the fourth line. Like, he wasn't on the fourth line, but they just threw him to the wolves. Matthews is really the only guy who they haven't thrown to the wolves because he's too good. There's no wolves to throw him to, but they've pushed him in other ways. And it's funny. So it's funny in watching the growth of these guys, because for a long time, like, I remember more people going, I can't believe how bad Morgan Riley is.
Yep.
Those stats out of that 2015 season were terrible. And in fact, I think they were bad the next season, even worse in 2016. People were like, wow, he had a bad year. Yeah. I remember Stephen Birch even saying, like, whoa, holy shit. Now, Morgan
Because he was like with Phaneuf, and then they intentionally tanked.
And then they put him with Polak.
Did they?
Yeah, he played with Polak.
That was one of the biggest defenses for Babcock coming out of last season out of the playoffs, because if you look at the team from 2015 to where they are now and how the players have grown, especially guys like Kadri who've been here the entire time, he's gotten so much out of the players. He's clearly doing something well.
Except for Kadri's not here.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
like, make it past the first.
I'm kind of curious about that last pair. If it is going to be, and whatever, your seventh guy, I don't really care. I want to know who's going to be on the ice. Sandin Marincin is interesting to me because Sandin is everything Marincin isn't, and vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, if that's the pair, if it's Sandin Marincin shouldn't cross the red line.
No, it's like
seriously,
it's like Dennis Rodman playing offense. Like, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Like, you're there to rebound. That's what what Dennis Rodman was there to do.
To be an oblong. You're there to be like the scary old lady from It Part 2.
He is
That's
literally
the second reference now.
He's literally.
Did you
just
watch
limbs.
it today?
No, not today.
I
It's
haven't
just
seen
in
it.
my
Stop.
head for some reason. I don't know. I'm sorry.
He is yeah, you can tell what Steve's watched recently based on his references.
Something an hour ago?
Yeah, like, for some reason, like 2 or 3 years ago, I'm like, Steve, you got to read Harry Potter. He's like, no, I don't need any of that bullshit. And now he's like, whoa, he's a git. He's using all the Harry Potter lingo. But Marincin is like a skating obelisk, right? He's just a very tall tower thing.
Obelisk.
And then you've got Sandin. So Marincin's problem has never been talent. Mm-hmm. He's been good at the AHL level. He's been good at the World Championships. For whatever reason, he gets to the NHL. He plays 5 games and he goes,
he's got like dangles at the AHL.
yes,
level.
yeah, he's
It's
dominant.
ridiculous.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't expect him to have dangles at the NHL level. Keep it simple.
He'll never have it.
But-
never have it.
Rasmus Sandin is not tall, but very mobile and very confident and makes
thick.
smart plays.
He's an example of a guy who looks small but is not.
Exactly. So my thinking is, what a great pairing, because Marincin is, he can reach across literally the whole ice to poke check you.
Good at zone entry denials.
Yeah, all that stuff. And it would allow Sandin to really kind of take the puck and move with it. And I wonder if, we'll see how it goes with Cece, who, to my eye at least, has not looked bad at all. He looks fine.
Yeah.
But again, you have to remember, it's against half rosters, not full rosters. And we'll, because Sens fans are like, Adam, give it time. But when Dermott is reinserted,
and with Zaitsev, it's okay. Give it half a decade because that's what you have left.
right? I wonder about Sandin and Dermott together. Like, I wonder if that's what they do with Martin Marincin, depending upon the team they're playing with. Marincin is the 7 guy.
Now there is another option out there. There's a lot of options, and Sandin's contract makes him really versatile. I don't know if this is true.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the case, but Sandin, because he's European, is able to play in the AHL, and his contract would slide. What if he plays 9 games, like any junior player, plays 9 games with the Leafs, and is then sent down and plays the rest of the season with the Marlies and could potentially get called up for the playoffs, I don't know if that counts toward it, would he then slide?
Who's this handed?
Yeah, this is Sandin.
Probably.
I don't know. The only problem with that is, like, at this rate, he legitimately deserves to play on the team.
He played in the AHL last year.
Yeah, like, a lot of people are worrying about
RFA shit?
all sorts of stuff. At
their
this
job's
point,
to win
Ice
now.
the best team.
Yeah, you got to win now.
If he deserves to be there, put him in.
Yeah, those days are sort of over where you're playing tricks with where you're keeping Nylander down artificially. Like, that's stupid. You're not playing that game anymore.
Which they didn't even do.
Well, they did do that 2015
for a
season.
while, yeah.
He was the top center on the team that year.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, I remember we had that argument on the show. Like, is Nylander a top 5 skilled player in the organization? And he was like second line on the Marlies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was.
It was, oh God, it was such a dark time. We just passed the 6-year anniversary of Kessel and John Scott. Poof. And Clarkson getting suspended for 10 games. This Leafs team makes me feel like we've time traveled. Doesn't it feel like between the I feel like the 2015-16 season was 10 years long. Mm-hmm. And everything before that was over 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. How was David Clarkson a Leaf within the past half decade?
It's such a different look. And the thing is, it could have gone wrong in so many other places, right? Like, if you don't draft Nylander and you draft, what they had, Ritchie? Or
could have been Jake Virtanen, could have been Nick Ritchie, could have been Hayden Fleury.
Yeah.
Could have been...
I think it starts with Nylander, right? And then obviously Matthews was a slam dunk.
Instead of Marner, you draft Lawson Krause.
What if you got? What if the Coyotes had drafted Mitch Marner?
And then you go with Dylan Strome, and then how different does that make your team? And
very different.
Maybe Dylan Strome ends up working out, and then you have a future of Matthew Strome, and you never go out and get Tavares, and you go out and get some other guy.
Yeah.
It's one of those fun little rabbit holes.
Could have been crazy. Yeah. But I'm glad it went the way it did. We should mention, after the last couple episodes, this is a huge deal. Funny that they must have been working on this when we were talking to them. PWHPA and the NHL have signed, or NHLPA have signed a deal. Of course, they didn't announce the partnership on our show, sadly. However,
yeah, Liz had a tone about her like, I know something you don't.
Yeah. Well, and she did, and she should. So essentially, it's going to they're going to watch. They're going to wear the NHLPA sponsorship patch, which is great. The statement goes like this: the success of women's hockey is integral to the growth of the sport. NHL players are proud to continue their support of the women's game by sponsoring the PWHPA. We look forward to seeing these talented hockey players on ice demonstrate their skill and passion throughout the PWHPA's Dream Gap Tour. So it'll be very, very interesting to see. Like, the specifics of it are a little hazy, to be honest with you. But the reality of it is, I think we're getting one step closer to the NHL just saying, fuck it, let's do it. And it seemed like, to me anyway, that when we talked to Liz about it, when you go back and you listen to it, and you listen to the way she responds about the NHL question, it's a pretty quick, concise, and she said, well... And I asked her about the sluggishness of LGBTQ and CTE and stuff like that. And she's like, well, support women's hockey. And, there's a PR win there, right? That's what she was saying. And she's absolutely right.
Well, and the players, the NHLPA and NHL are completely separate.
Yes,
and the players have stepped up.
Yeah.
Someone else's turn.
I think the I think they're working on something.
I don't know.
I just can't see... Like I said to you before all of this, I can't see, having heard both sides, I can't see how they don't have something. There's got to be talks ongoing. There has to be.
Well, and I think the conversation on this show over the past few weeks has stemmed from our confusion, like just over the lack of news, really. And I think they're going about it quietly and privately, which is probably the way to do business.
Yeah.
It was the thing I liked most about Lou.
Nothing about the PWHPA, NHLPA leaked beforehand. We did not know.
Right. That came out of nowhere.
Believe me, I would have told you. It would have been, hey!
Yeah.
Nope.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I'm excited. And if you haven't caught the last two episodes, if you want to know both sort of both sides of what's going on right now. It's very, very interesting interviews to go back and listen to. And thank you to both of those players for coming on and talking to us so honestly about it.
Andy Packer and Liz Knox.
If you're the Jets,
you're
the Winnipeg Jets. It's only been 2 seasons, really. But has your cup window closed?
Remember when I called their right side maybe the best in hockey? Byfuglien, Myers, and Trouba. And for a minute there, it sounded like they could lose the whole thing in one offseason.
Yep.
Which is wild.
Now, has Byfuglien recommitted?
It sounds like, well, there's been all these little leaks and like people seeing Dustin Byfuglien at Earl's and taking pictures with him at like the restaurant. And it sounds like he just needs a sec. He's not ready right now, but he'll come back and he'll play. Now, I don't know when that is. And in the meantime, you got like a guy like Sami Niku, who I know Jets fans have been like, hey, we like him. Okay, do you like him on the top pair?
What about Pionk? You really like him?
Do you like Pionk on his charts? I've never seen a chart so deeply red and so all the way down.
You haven't looked at Ben Harper's chart, clearly.
You know, Jesse has a point.
Like, how is it possible that they ended up with... Like, what did they get, a first and him?
I don't remember what it was.
Like, it was not good. The return for Trouba didn't seem very good. Can you look up the Trouba trade?
I don't think it would have been... Well, it wouldn't have been the Rangers first. They'd be crazy to give that up. I think. It might have been someone else's first because the Rangers are just murdering the rebuild. I still think it's going to be great. Capo Caco looks so good. That guy, he's a team changer.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you look at a team on paper and you're like, you're kind of whack. And then they add one guy. He might be that guy.
I think
Jack
he is.
Hughes, too.
Yeah.
The Trouba trade was Pionk and a first.
Okay.
The 20th overall pick.
20th. Yeah, so that couldn't have been... I don't know whose that was.
I don't know who... Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't great. Well, and now they don't even have Line still.
Well,
Yeah.
and has Connor signed yet? I
No.
don't think so.
Kyle,
and Kyle. Oh, my God.
Kyle and Patrick are still unsigned.
So, like, if you're them, don't you commit to at least signing one of them now? Like, or maybe that's when their RFA, their I guess their leverage is at its height. But obviously you want to get Connor and Line. I don't see how they do it. Like, you talk about the Leafs having a cap crunch. The Jets is worse, way worse. And
well, right now they have $23 million in projected cap space.
Wouldn't Byfuglien come back, change that?
I think so.
And then
I think they actually have, like, with Byfuglien accounted
That's
for.
7.6.
Yeah, with Byfuglien accounted for, it's like 15, something like
Still,
that. Which is still a lot
15,
of money.
15-4.
It's more than enough to get Kyle Connor locked up long term and Line locked up to a
bridge.
Yeah, a point like Bridgie.
But I bet Line.
yeah,
Do you think Line even wants that?
I don't know what Line wants, and I don't know what the Jets are willing to give, because supposedly they offered him less than 6, which is wild to me, because he scored 30 goals in an off year.
Yeah, like he scored the most like in 1 month, but still
The strangest season.
Yeah.
The strangest damn
But
season.
Patrick Line is coming back. Like he'll score lots of goals. It'll be fine. I wonder.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Has the Jets window closed?
You know, Mitch Marner never talked shit about his line mates. And like said, I
Did
wanted...
Line? Well, no, but Line. I think Line is talking shit about his coach. He's pissed because he's a freaking he's a world class talent, and they're like, no, play defense on the third line. Like it's outrageous. It is. He's right. It's so stupid that Patrick Line has to be like, don't you guys think it's weird that I'm not playing on the first line? And he's absolutely right. Come on, Paul Maurice, step up and put him where he should be.
No, man. Line is the definition of a one-dimensional player. I think that's a tremendous...
then use him in that one dimension.
What
Yeah.
do you do as a
That's
coach?
a little
but
ridiculous.
You don't put one-dimensional players on the first line.
If
You're
he's
supposed to be
good
able to
enough.
do everything.
If he's good enough, yeah.
He could
stick him
score
there.
50 goals.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't
come on.
hate Line just being that guy who's just going to sit there and score.
Gotta take a step. He can score.
Yeah.
Him scoring is sometimes not the problem. This was the issue last year, is when he was going through all his streaks. They were like, okay, bring something else to the board. There's just nothing there. So
You drafted a goal scorer. Use him to score goals.
that's true. That is true.
Like, just here's the one thing that's hardest to do in the NHL: score fucking goals. If
Right.
that's his one dimension, pretty good dimension to have.
I wonder
Set
what-
him up for success. This is crazy.
what do you think Patrick Laine is asking for right now for an 8-year deal?
Oh,
8 years?
Yeah.
9
you got
million.
You got to think.
8 million.
Like,
Oh.
Line of 2 years ago locked up to 8 years, 9 million.
You'd be laughing.
That's a friggin' really good contract. But again, you're taking an enormous risk for a guy who could end up being
Your first line winger?
like your first line winger or like a bust.
How could
It's
he
weird that we're
somebody-
3 years in.
He's
Steve,
always
he
he's
scored
good-
over 100 goals in a season for
He
a full
scored
season.
12 goals in 70 games. 12
Okay.
goals in 70 games.
And yet still managed to have over 30. How is that possible?
Because he scored 18 and 12.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't. He's
So-
every.
okay.
Do you want 30 goals? Here's 30 goals.
Okay, so if he goes on that streak in June, you're cool.
Yes, you are.
But unless, yes, that's what I'm saying though. But the odds of that happening are very slim.
I
Okay.
don't know. I think he deserves the money just because he's gonna churn out 30 goals from now until forever.
You're buying goals. What are you going to spend your money on? Are you going to spend your money on, well, he might get 20 goals, but I sure like his heart?
what
No.
if we get a
I
third
want-
line guy who can play defense?
God.
What if
You
we
can
get
make
every
that.
signing the Canucks
You
have done
can
over the
make
past
that.
4 years?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
You can make that. The point I'm trying to make is, look, the guy's got 110 goals in 237 games.
That's crazy.
He's a special talent.
36, 44, 30. So just take out last season for just a second. I know you can't.
I know.
I know that you can't. Still had 50 points in 82 games last year. Now, I'm not saying that Patrick Laine is worth $9 million a season, especially on a bridge deal.
No.
Patrick Laine's bridge deal is going to look like $6 million over 3 years, maybe 5.5. If Brayden Point 6.75.
Yeah, he might be 5 something.
But if I'm Patrick Laine, I sign like a 2-year deal. I take it off, like, you just take it.
As I won.
You sign a 1.
That's
there
what
you
I
go.
want if I'm him.
Now, but
2 years.
Winnipeg would never give you that, so your option is probably 2 or 3
This
years.
is where it's the most complicated. He's the most complicated RFA easily.
There is nothing wrong with signing a guy to that kind of money who scores goals. I'm sorry. And yes, his plus minus was negative 24 last year. I don't know.
plus minus.
The point I'm trying to make here is that goals are the hardest. Goals are the hardest thing.
Caps lock.
Yeah.
plus minus.
How do you not lock up a guy who scored 110 goals in 237 games? That's almost a goal every other game.
So it's because I'm of two minds, right? We don't 100% know he's that guy all the time.
How do we
But-
not? He's been that guy.
How
He's
do
there
we-
for
Because
2 or 3
How
years.
do we not?
You
2 or 3 years.
you know he's
2
not
or
because
3
of the
years he
stat. The
was.
stat that Steve brought up of the 12 goals in 74 games.
70 games.
But what
70
about the
goals.
2 seasons of 82 games he played before that?
The most
he played
recent one.
73 games in his first season, 36 goals, 28 assists, runner-up for the fucking Rookie of the Year. The next
But-
year he plays a full 82.
So is Dion
He
Phaneuf.
gets 44 goals and
Who's
70
unsigned.
points. One bad season. And by the way, a bad season is 30 goals? Come
No, but
on.
it's-
Shouldn't have done it in
not-
the contract year.
It's 30 goals in a vacuum, but in the real world, it's 12 goals and 70
30
games.
goals.
He
30
had
goals.
a hot month, and that
Yeah.
month was
30 goals is
November.
30 goals.
He had a hot month, and that month was
Hey,
November.
hey, guess what?
The number lies a little when it says 30.
And when do most teams make the playoffs? October, November, right?
No, that's
Yes.
ridiculous.
Absolutely
no,
not.
that's
Absolutely not. Okay,
saying
you
most
show
teams-
me.
Okay,
show me.
Buffalo won 10 straight games in October last year. In
was it
November.
October? Whatever it was.
They
That's
missed
true.
the playoffs.
But it's
Don't
like-
tell me teams make the playoffs
If you're
in
not in the
October.
playoffs
worst
by
team.
December 1st.
Jesus.
Like New Year's onward.
Right.
Okay, if most of
St.
the-
Louis was in last
I
place.
know there's outliers, guys.
What if he's one of
The
them?
point is, look at the standings. November 30th last year, 2018. Look them up.
I will.
I can
I will
guarantee
tell
you that
you.
less than 10% of the teams that
Don't
made
throw
it.
out a random.
Alright.
Don't throw out a random
Guaranteed.
percentage.
Less than
So
You
10%.
can't throw out a random percentage and
then
act like
let
it's
me-
fact.
Less than 10%.
You can't what is
Why
less than
not?
What does that mean?
Have a
You
hot
can't throw-
November.
how many-
Have a hot November, and then just be bullshit the rest of the way.
That's what the
$9
Leafs
million.
did. The Leafs were bullshit the rest of the way. Yes, they sucked from January to March. They were awful.
No, it was like a 1 month blip, and it was because people were hurt.
No, man. They
Patrick
were
Laine was not
bad.
hurt.
The
Yeah.
Leafs were
He was just
500
bad at
January
hockey
to
for a
March.
while. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird. It's
Could it be that they put him on the third line?
No, he was on the power play the whole goddamn time. Freaking guy couldn't score for a while and doesn't back check.
You know, I Just
If he doesn't back check and he's scoring 40, 50, Laine on in a full season, he's flirting with 50 every year.
yes. So why is this an issue? Sign him.
Because I'm putting asterisks on it.
like
Last
Adam, what
season
was
he
the date?
wasn't on.
Huh? November 30th, 2018. What were who was in the playoff picture at that point?
Jesse's
gonna switch the cameras.
Getting up. This is very interesting. I'm excited to see this.
I bet it's less than 10%.
You know what's going to be really frustrating?
What?
When Laine signs as soon as Jesse posts this.
Nah, it's gonna say. But you know what? I still think our
I wouldn't
argument
have
was
it
worth
any
it.
other way. You know what's going to be really frustrating? When Mikko Rantanen signs for less than Brayden Point.
Yes, that will be very.
Just kill me. It's just the worst.
Just killed me.
Just
All
kill
right.
me. Oh my god. Yes, Jesse.
Wow. By the way, breakdown of the. This is from Ken Campbell
I thought
from
you
the
were
Hockey
saying
News.
breaking news. I was going to jump
Breakdown
over
of the
this
point
table.
contract: $1 million signing bonus in the first year, $3 million signing bonus second year, and a $3 million signing bonus in the third year.
Fire agent.
Jesus, it's so bad. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, Mr. Agent Man. All right,
These guys better ask for
Jesse,
$15 million. when
who's
this
in the
is all
East?
over.
Who's in the West? Give it to me.
You are the top 8 teams
Yep.
from the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
On November 30th.
Yes.
2018.
Yes.
Tampa. So what?
What?
What is your bet? What do you say?
It's you have if you're not in the picture by that point, 10% chance of you actually getting in.
Tampa, Buffalo, Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
Washington, Columbus, Boston, Carolina, Rangers.
Rangers were in a playoff
Rangers?
spot?
Okay, so that's 6 of 8.
Six of eight.
6 of 8.
Who are we
in
missing
the
there?
East?
All right.
So
6
we're-
of 8. We're going to calculate percentage overall.
Okay.
Sure, 6 of 8.
6 of 8. In the West, Nashville, Colorado, Calgary,
Did not make. Did they make?
No,
it?
they,
yeah.
they won the
They won the
division.
division,
They
right?
just
Yeah.
shit the bed in the playoffs.
Anaheim,
Did not make it.
What?
Winnipeg,
Did make it.
Minnesota,
They did not make it.
Dallas. I mean,
Did they squeaked in. They
have
got
7.
San Jose.
8.
So 2. Minnesota and Anaheim didn't make it.
Did
So
Minnesota make
6
it?
of 8 again.
6 of 8 again.
Minnesota didn't make it last year? They always make the playoffs.
No, they didn't make it.
Okay.
So of the 16 teams,
Okay, so what we
So
do.
12 made it.
16 divided by 12.
Oh my
or no,
God.
12.
We're really bad at
divided
this.
by
75%.
75. So you 25%.
Okay, 25%.
You were wrong, Adam. What is
Who's
that?
wrong?
Come on, Adam. There's a lot of hockey between December 1st.
All I'm saying is okay, fine, it's still 25%. It's still small.
Man.
4 teams.
He was
only 4
dog
teams
shit
switched.
after November, Adam.
Four-
He was
four
dog
teams.
shit.
And guess what? The reason that the Jets were so high at that point was because Patrick Laine scored 18 goals in 12 games. That's a good ass November, man.
It was a good ass
Listen,
November.
the point I'm trying to make is still stands.
Uh-huh.
Your major gains are made in the fall.
You can build
Sure.
a lead in the fall that
It's
does not
insurmountable.
break.
Yes.
That's the point. And so I would argue Patrick Laine scored when it counted. And he scored 3 goals in 6 games in the playoffs.
He was better in the playoffs for sure. For sure. For sure. There is an opportunity here for the Jets to sign a really, really, really shitty deal.
Yeah.
Or a really, really, really good one. And it's kind of up to Patrick Laine.
Yeah.
It's absurd that we're even able to have a legitimate conversation about the merits of signing Patrick Laine long term or not. Like, he should be the biggest slam dunk. He should be getting Matthews money or near it. He should be getting double digits.
Yeah, if they played him on the line he should be on, maybe he would.
Oh, wasn't he with like Blake Wheeler most of last year?
Yeah.
Adam, that guy had like 90 points.
Was he with Blake
The
Wheeler most
reason
last year?
Patrick Laine is not getting a long-term deal right now is his fault, not Paul Maurice's
No, it's Fortnite.
or Fortnite.
Also for
allegedly.
Yeah. Thomas Chabot signs long term, and what a great deal.
Had some betcha.
Oh, wasn't that the day of the last podcast?
It was. Yeah,
What
it was just after.
What a deal!
Steal.
Really
Steal.
good deal.
$8 million
Really
over
smart.
8.
Really smart of the Sens.
Yep. Really. Whoa. Say that again.
Really smart of the Sens.
Now.
Did you know, before you get to your point,
Okay.
Ben Harpur was not on the opening day roster for the Ottawa Senators last season?
Jesse, I'm gonna ask you to leave the room pretty soon. Okay? I'm having a good day, shouting at my friend Adam. Don't ruin it with
I
facts
just
about
like-
Ben Harpur.
I just like throwing in some Ben Harpur facts every now and again.
Yeah, but that's because all of last season was just the Sens throwing gladiators into the stadium and seeing which one of them got eaten by lions. And the answer was most of them.
I think Ben Harpur might have been just we need the Leafs to take a contract.
I think that's what it was.
Well,
I think that's what it
Because
was.
if you're Kyle Dubas and you've seen what you've seen,
yeah.
and Mike Babcock goes, well, he makes the team. If
There's
you're
nothing about...
You're Kyle Dubas, you're like, yeah, no, he doesn't. That's funny, Mike, because he's on waivers. I don't know, what are we going to do?
It's going to be fun when we see him out there for 20 minutes.
There was a clerical error.
Yeah.
Put it in my notes. We
retraded
gotta talk to the secretary about. Can't believe that they did that.
Yeah, sorry,
and not
Mike.
Me. Can't believe that they did that and not me. Damn it. I just the way his contract is structured, it seemed like he was a money dump.
Patrick Maroon with the second best, I think, chirp of the offseason. I don't know. Maybe the
Weirdly
best?
aimed.
Yeah. So he plays for Tampa now because no one, for some reason, will sign Patrick Maroon despite the fact that he actually produces. And he does things that no one else will do, as in, like, he's big, he scores.
Yeah.
Like he's
Patrick, what do you want? Well, I just want a Stanley Cup. I want $4 million. Cool. Tampa wants to sign you. I'll sign for $900,000.
Yes. So he signed up
Friggin'
basically almost the league, like a rookie deal, basically, not league min, but $900,000. He signs it, and so he,
I think he makes less than Iliyan Nikolov.
he flashed his pseudo ring because he hasn't got it yet to the crowd in Nashville, which I thought,
Someone must have said something. Yeah, someone must have you're a bum. You're
he
like
didn't
on a
play
PTO.
for them, did he?
Nashville?
did he play for them?
No.
No.
No, that was Ryan Hartman.
Who aren't
Yes.
the same guys.
Not the same
Not
guy.
the
different
But
same
both big
at all.
bodies, right? I just got that.
Maroon played for Anaheim, Edmonton, New Jersey, St. Louis.
Okay.
And now Tampa.
Ryan
So-
Hartman is the ultimate. What if we can salvage this guy? Everyone's like,
I'll give
well,
you a-
first round pedigree, dude. If you're a first rounder who didn't quite work out, you have a half decade in this league minimum.
Yep. Because everybody thinks they're smarter than you.
Yeah, everyone. No. There's a reason he was picked in the first round. Watch me.
Yeah.
These guys don't know. I know.
Yep.
Genius right here. Oh, you thought you were genius? No.
Well,
I'm the guy who's going to get 30 goal scorer Ryan Hartman.
in Edmonton's case, maybe they're right. But for the rest of the teams, development, it's either you have it or you don't. But I thought so basically Patrick Maroon flashed his ring to the crowd in Nashville, even though he doesn't have the ring yet. Thought that was pretty funny. Where do we go? The preseason chirps have actually been really good this year.
Yeah.
I'm sort of surprised that we're even talking about it. Is that above the Matthews because it involves the whole crowd, or is the Matthews one just like, who the hell are you? And that's sort of like just so disrespectful. It's funny
Yeah, it's
because both are disrespectful.
I need someone to step up and really show me something I haven't seen. You know, I watch the slam dunk competition every year, and I go,
you?
I do. Not anymore. That's a lie. I used to watch the slam dunk competition every year because of Vince Carter a long time ago. So it got to a point.
That was almost 20 years ago.
It was a very long time ago. But, okay, so like the slam dunk competition, it got to a point where I was like, that was very impressive, but I've already seen it. The Matthews, looking at the jersey thing, very impressive, very disrespectful, very cheeky. I've already seen it. Patrick Maroon, flashing the ring. Very good. Very cheeky. Already seen it. I need someone to come up with something truly spectacular, super petty, that I've never seen before.
And you know who it'll be?
Max Domi.
No, well, maybe. Max, yeah,
It's a
Max
good
Domi,
bet.
maybe. I was going to bet on Brad Marchand, though.
Yeah, it will probably be Brad Marchand.
Because he's really creative
Max
with it,
Domi
too. I
will
hate
be
him for
playing an exhibition game against like Minnesota and be like, oh, Toronto. And yeah, we need
You
Brad
know,
Marchand to like.
that. The thing about Max Domi is he loves playing in Montreal. Has he told you that?
More than anything he's ever loved ever.
Yeah.
Noted definitely not Leaf fan, Max
At the end
Domi.
of his career when he's getting traded around. I love playing here in Springfield.
Springton. Hello,
I
Springton.
just love to give Max Domi crap because, honestly, you know it deep down. Max is a Leaf fan.
Hey, listen, I know the hustle of selling a book.
Yep.
Oh, is that what you think it is?
Oh, 100%.
A book that's on sale.
Yeah.
1969. Or 1967,
Is that
sorry.
what he
No,
sells?
I
Sorry,
got a
69.
book. No, wait, did you see that deal?
Yeah, I'm talking about your deal. I'm trying to get you
Did
to
you actually
plug.
have the deal in
I'm setting you
1967?
up to plug your book,
Well,
Steven.
thank you, Jesse. Why don't I do that? ECWpress.com. ECW Press is my publisher. There is a deal right now. You can get all 3 versions of my book, the print edition, the e-copy, and the audiobook in a bundle for $19.67 Canadian.
That's actually wicked that they let you do that.
Yeah. This
that-
team is ruining my life. A book about my fandom as a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. 1967. Buy it! Christmas! It's right around the corner.
Another
It's next week.
Another Steve thing, while we're on the topic of Steve, is the Easter Seals.
Yes, the Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic. So, I've been plugging that I'm already registered. Please donate to me. It's in my pinned tweet. Jesse's already registered. Adam doesn't care about kids. So there's that. You know, it's really shameful that he feels that way.
I'm
but, you know,
wondering
tweets
if I
their
should.
own.
Here's what I'm wondering.
What?
Should I just make my donations the last day and then see how much I can raise in one day?
And, like, pass me somehow?
I don't know if I can do that. I don't think either of us were going to pass you. I think it would just be like, should I just do a 1 day last minute?
You should not.
No?
No. You should raise over a long period of time. You might get more.
Listen to this guy.
So,
Are you worried?
Listen, I want to raise $50,000, and I want Eric Lindros on my team because we have the first overall pick.
Right.
Do we really?
Well, no, if we get the most money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No one has ever not picked Eric Lindros.
Well, you
I
kinda
might
have
do
to.
it just to pick Steve Thomas first overall.
The weird thing is that, like, okay, that's great, but the problem we would face is that there's, like, corporate dollars and stuff. Like, you were raised the most on your own last year, but then we got these big corporate guys that we got to go up against.
I
You want to beat
am
them.
determined. I'm determined, and I want to beat them. So, what I'm asking for is your help. There's obviously the individual donations. You can still always make those. What I am looking for, because I'm on the committee for this thing now, for the Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic in support of Easter Seals, we're looking for corporate sponsorship. We're looking for items that can be given as prizes. We're looking for products, like things that can be used in the dressing room between games and things of that nature. Autograph stuff that can be auctioned off. And also, something that's available is the shoulder patches on our jerseys. Advertisements there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So hit me up. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Steve_Dangle. Damn it.
And if you hate Adam and Steve, or just like me more, go to my pinned tweet and donate to my profile because I'm trying to raise $2,000 and I'm short of that goal right now. So help me get
But
there.
you have until November 14th.
I'd
But you
ask
have until
you-
November 14th.
I'd ask you to do it, but I'm going to wait till November 13th. Because I don't want to ask too much of you for too long. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on you because I'm thinking about you. So remember, November 13th, vote Adam.
You
need a
need to watch
minimum-
out, though. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you need
there's a
of
minimum to
$400
play.
bucks, and if you don't raise it, you're not freaking playing.
It'd be funnier.
You
if-
bring your equipment to Oshawa, you bring it right back
right?
to whence you came. Oh, Whitby, actually.
It'd be funnier if everyone just grouped together to not give you any donations. And then on the last day, everyone's like, yeah, I'm saving up for Adam. And then they give it all to Steve, and then you can't play on our team.
Wow. Well, then I'm excluded from the Don Cherry bet.
Nope, you're still in the bet.
No,
it's
excluded.
it's
I have to play.
last person
Adam,
to score
I
in the
have to play.
tournament no matter what.
Yeah,
You're
it's
still
your
in the bet.
responsibility to raise that
Yeah,
money.
you need to raise the minimum.
You can't just show up in November, Patrick. Okay, you gotta show up for the whole thing.
I am the Patrick Laine of this team.
Oh, you just try when you wanna.
Yeah.
We'll be playing video games through our first 2 games,
It's true. Hey,
allegedly.
before we get into the press conference, I have a question. Actually, we got a couple things to get to, a couple
Yeah.
show notes and that sort of thing. So the first thing is season 7 starts on Sunday. And we're going to
wild.
be doing something different this year, which is something we did at the beginning of the show's tenure, but over the years have had different things happen in our lives and that sort of thing. We're gonna go back to a defined schedule because
We're certainly gonna try.
no, we're gonna do it. We're
gonna do it.
Yeah, there's no try.
There's no
Just
try.
stick to it, Steve.
Okay, Yoda.
STS. Stick to it.
Stick
No.
to
No.
no. He tried. We're gonna try. We're gonna try
Move
with the
on.
schedule. Jesse tried to.
Move on.
So we have in the past been like, hey man, I have a doctor's appointment that day. Can we do a different day? Like, we're thinking that maybe that's kind of inconvenient for you. And so we want you to be able to expect the show on certain dates. And I think that makes a lot more sense. So you can expect a new show Sunday night, Monday morning, because we will be recording Sundays. And you can expect a new show Wednesday night, Thursday morning, because we will be recording Wednesdays. Now, I know we have national games on Wednesdays. I know Wednesday's a big night in hockey. However, that's the night we're going to go with for now. We'll see how that goes.
And I got to go ice surfing, LFR video the next day, rush to the podcast.
Yeah. So that's the other thing,
It's my problem.
So it's going to be a crazy time, but I think this will work out a lot better for you and for us. Yeah. Quite frankly, you get a kid and all of a sudden things change. Bullshit, but it happens, and I needed a little bit more steadiness in the schedule. So that's what we're going to do this year.
I don't mind it.
You're also going to see a few different steps forward in terms of what you see on camera and how you hear things and whatever, and things that we can't really get into yet, but we're very excited about where we're going with that. And obviously the show is going to continue to be the show. So we're pretty pumped about that. But the thing that we can tell you right now is, yay, set schedule.
Sunday, Wednesday, Monday morning, Thursday morning. Yay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can expect it Monday morning.
I mean,
Yes.
unless
On your
you stay
drive to
up
work.
all night because you're weird, which I know is actually a lot of you. So,
Yeah.
European.
Yeah. No
Or you're-
sleep squad.
Or you're weird European.
Yeah. Or, there are some of those.
The NSS, the No Sleep Squad.
Yes.
Whoa.
Is that?
Merch
Well-
coming soon.
Is there?
I don't know. We
No,
can.
and we
We
can.
can make merch for
No,
anyone.
do we
really
the
should.
stupid Purelator trucks outside again? What are we
Pure
gonna-
Later merch coming soon.
Yeah.
We're looking for corporate
Like,
sponsors.
the thing that I hate now is that all their trucks have "we're hiring" on the side. So when
Yeah.
they pull up to the window, it's like, oh, hey, I should go work for Purelator.
The year is 2022. All of our listeners work for Purelator.
Purelator.com/careers.
Look at his 3-point
Stop!
turn.
What are you doing?
Look, he's
Don't
doing
plug
3
them.
points turn right now in front of us.
Don't hit the window. Don't plug Pure
Okay,
Later's
the
They're
website.
size of that
themselves
truck,
anyway.
that was a really good 3-point turn.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was very
He's
impressed.
done that before.
It's not a rookie 3-point turner in the
For
truck.
sure. Hey, Steve,
Hey, Adam.
why do you own a kayak?
What?
Because I impulse bought one day, and also I like it. But
So-
mostly the first thing.
So, Jesse, I was at our friend's house the other day,
You own a kayak?
and they were like, blah, 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 Steve's kayak. And I was like, excuse me? What? And so Steve once bought a kayak at Costco. Was it at Costco?
no,
Oh, I was told it was Costco.
it wasn't Costco.
Where was it?
Where was it?
Like Sport Check or something.
Okay, so you got a kayak.
When?
Oh, years ago.
So Steve,
It's like at least 2012. or
Steve,
something.
who will not buy himself new clothes, bought a kayak.
On an
Especially
impulse?
in 2012. Especially in 2012.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
On an impulse.
On an
yeah.
impulse. And then, Steve, what happened?
Where is it?
Well,
Hold
so
on.
I was,
We'll get to that.
We knew someone who lived on the water, and it was awesome. So I just stored the kayak there.
No. What happened immediately after you bought the kayak?
I don't know.
You had to call your friend Matt, or no, you had to call your friend Andy to come pick you up because it couldn't fit on your car.
Oh yeah, because
So
I didn't
Steve-
have a roof rack.
So Steve impulse buys a kayak and can't leave.
The kayak trapped you in a parking lot.
And I was just like, oh yeah.
Like he
I'm not prepared for this kayak.
got it off the shelf, brought it to cash, I'm assuming, or maybe they brought the scanner to you. I don't know how they did that.
I don't know. I
So
just
just
carried it awkwardly, and I was like knocking over old ladies,
And then he leaves the sport check,
tipping over strollers.
and they're like, and he's like, oh, what now?
I have a kayak.
So, how many
What the
times?
hell?
So you're storing it at your friend Matt's cottage,
Yes.
and how many times in the last 5 years, 6 years since you bought it, have you used it?
I used it a lot when I first
yeah?
got it because we kept it at a friend's house who was on the water. So that was great. They said, just come over, use it whenever you want. So I did. Now I get to use it like once a year when I go up to Matt's
So you
cottage.
bought your friend a kayak?
I still
Yeah.
have it.
No, you don't have
No,
it.
he
own
has
it.
it.
You've never
Yeah,
had
you own it, but
You've
you don't have
never
it.
had a
All I
kayak.
gotta do is get a
Steve.
roof rack.
Steve, you've never had a kayak. You bought your friend a kayak and put it at his place.
How come I get to keep using it? Because my friend's really
Your
nice?
friend's like, yeah, you could use my kayak because I have a kayak.
That's the
Jesse's not
first time
wrong.
I thought of my kayak in months.
You own the kayak,
You don't
but he
own
definitely has the kayak. Like Matt has the kayak. You don't know. You don't have the
don't
kayak.
own it.
Is this that talking through you to get me to giddy up and buy a roof rack?
It was just.
Why did you buy it? I wanted one. You don't live on water.
I used to.
No, you didn't.
When did you live on water?
When did you live
No,
in
not on water,
Scarborough?
near the water.
It's Toronto. Everything's kind of near water.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
It does. You can never use my
Did you
kayak.
live at your parents' place?
You're not allowed to use my
I know.
Yeah, I did. You're not
So
allowed to use my
when
kayak.
you lived at your
I know
parents'
how
place,
badly you want to use it. You're
Hold
not allowed.
on.
You'll
When you-
never get to use it.
when you lived at your
It's probably not
parents,
even big enough. What?
when you lived at your parents' place,
Yes.
in the middle of suburban Scarborough, you said,
Close to the water.
I'm gonna buy a freaking kayak that I can't bring home
Like,
and ship it over to
I
my
can't even
friend's house.
make it out of the fucking parking lot.
I can't make it out of the cashier because I wasn't prepared to buy a kayak. Because it's a kayak.
I will not be judged for having a kayak. It is a healthy activity. Yes, I do have a kayak.
You own
I
a
go out
kayak.
to whatever I want. Whatever I want.
You bought your friend a kayak.
I did not buy a friend a kayak. He's got kayaks. He doesn't even need it.
You bought him another one.
Yeah, okay.
I can't wait for. We should put a camera on
It
that.
has other kayaks to hang out with.
We should put a
so I
GoPro
know
camera.
It's not
Oh, yeah.
lonely.
on the kayak all winter just to see how it does. Just do a live stream of that kayak all
We should
winter.
interview the kayak. Hey, when's the last time you saw Steve?
Yeah, who's Steve?
And it's gonna be me walking across the frozen water and just going right up to the camera and giving it the middle finger. And then I'm gonna slowly row away.
You're an absentee kayak dad.
Oh,
Wow. I am not the Drake of kayak
Wow,
owners.
wow.
I am not. I am not.
Is its name Adonis?
Is that? Oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
But it's okay. I wrote a song about my kayak, so it's cool.
just haven't seen him in months.
It's all right.
Did you, in this moment, did you forget you owned a kayak?
Yeah, a little bit.
That means you don't own a kayak.
Listen, I didn't say I do have a kayak.
You didn't remember you bought a kayak and you own it.
It's perfect that the captain of the Dangle Navy owns a ship, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
yes.
just perfect.
I am gonna deck out the kayak. There it is. There it is. That's the mothership. Right.
And if you got two
it's
kayaks,
gonna be called the SS Fuck Adam.
Oh, God.
And I'm the admiral.
That's aggressive.
I'm the admiral of the SS Fuck Adam.
if you got the SS Fuck Jesse, then you could. But by the way, SS is an American designation. If you wanted a Canadian one, it's HMCS.
HMCS Fuck
Okay,
Adam.
HMCS. Fuck. If you got two of them, then you'd be Commodore Dangle because you'd have two ships under your command.
Is
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
not
I guess
captain,
you should
Commodore.
go pack your shit because you're not gonna get on my kayak ever.
I don't think you are either.
You know what we need to do next
You
summer?
That's bullshit. I can go get it whenever I want.
We need a Steve Dangle podcast kayak party. Is what we
Oh,
need.
yeah? Is it a meeting
And-
at the
You're
kayak?
invited.
Yeah.
To
See-
the podcast regatta.
See,
That's what it would be
but
called.
nobody helped Steve get his kayak there. Like you can bring yours.
Yeah.
I'll lift it. I'm strong.
But Steve has no. You can't walk it from Muskoka.
You bet I can.
Yes,
Watch
you
me
can.
do it. But fueled with nothing but coffee and hatred of you.
What if...
Spite of you.
Did you think about where you're gonna put it when you're buying it? Like, what if you brought it home to
No!
your parents and they're like, "Why is there a kayak
Jesse,
in our
I didn't
living
think of a
room?"
lot of things. I didn't think of a lot
Was
of
it a good
things.
deal? Was it half off?
It was.
Was it on sale
It was
at
like
least?
$500.
Okay, let me.
Is that regular price? That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
kayak.
That's.
Was it that regular price?
It's a boat.
Did you even get a deal?
I'm pretty sure it did. I can't remember. I don't know. You're asking me to remember something from like when the Leafs drafted Morgan Riley.
It's a
Like,
pretty ridiculous thing to do.
As long as you
No!
live, you'll never meet someone like Steve. As
No.
long as there will never be another Steve.
someone so fulfilled
No, I just want
with a boat.
I just,
Where's your boat, Adam?
You're right, man. I don't
If
know.
you're on a morning show. Well, you can't afford a boat. What are you, poor? Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, Adam,
I
where's
didn't know what to say.
You're not a captain.
Yeah, mine's a yacht.
You're right. You're right.
I call it the yacht.
I just thought that I've been waiting for that. I've been sitting on that for a couple weeks, and I've been waiting for that to come up. But our previous shows were not
Yeah.
were not the time.
There's been so much hockey stuff.
But boy,
Haven't got the kayak news.
But I thought the fact that Steve walked, like, think about the
You'll
biggest
never get
impulse.
to ride the HMCSFA.
The biggest impulse you've ever bought. Like, what's your biggest impulse buy ever? Think about that, right? It might be a couple. Like, it might be a really expensive pair of shoes. Might be a crazy Kanye West white T-shirt for $800.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. But Steve buys a fucking kayak and can't leave. Like,
As a call his friend.
Boat? An effing boat? Or shoes that you can't even wear out of the house for fear of scuffing them?
I don't know,
That's
Steve.
a
boat!
You spent $500. You spent $500 on a freaking kayak
On a seafaring vessel
that you couldn't leave.
that HMCS Jesse can go fuck himself.
do you have
It's
a
the
paddle?
best
Did you get a
vehicle.
paddle?
Yeah, I got a paddle. That's how a kayak works.
Listen, I wasn't sure if that came with the boat or not.
I'm just gonna, on one side it's just gonna put no, and on the other side it's gonna say friends. Just no friends, no friends. And I'm gonna speed away.
HMCS. fuck
Start
Adam.
a new podcast off in the wilderness somewhere where no one talks shit about my boat.
It's not a boat.
It's the boat! It is in the
Are
family
you good?
of
Are you
boats.
good at kayaking?
Yes!
Can you kayak?
Relatively speaking,
Okay.
I think so. I'm a good paddler.
All right.
From Dragon Mode, I got the
I think that's fascinating.
paddling.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that story, Adam.
Yeah, no problem. I also find it funny that bad back guy is kayaking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not friggin' decrepit. Like,
A
I can
little.
do
Sometimes you are.
Sometimes I
Last
am.
week you walked in
Yeah.
and you were decrepit. Steve, I want to tell everybody why you had a bad back last week.
Fuck's sake.
This is a roast
This
Steve.
is also a great story. This is
Yeah,
a great
what
story.
happened?
So, Steve, good guy,
It's not
Steve.
even late in the summer for a barbecue, Adam, or is this a meeting? A meeting of guys who hate my guts.
No, go ahead and ask Steve why Steve had a bad back last week. Steve, explain to the class.
Yeah, why did you have a bad back last episode?
And by the way, when Steve has a bad back, he walks in, he's like, "Oh, I'm really sore, guys. I'm really sore. I got to do stretches. I'm stretching. Hold on. Oh, my back. I'm stretching. And
what am I gonna do?
You're from Woodbridge, and you're stretching.
He's the I can't get sick right now, girl. Except
Yes!
my back is sore, guy.
I can't do anything right now. My back is so
I just
sore.
can't get sick right now. My back is so sore.
So sore. So, Steve, how did you get a sore back?
You're going to be so embarrassed when I get a sick tuck at the Easter Seals tournament and you don't get anything. You know what? I'm going to have a sick tuck and a
And a
boat.
boat.
Why was your back sore?
Without a means to transport said boat. But anyway, continue.
Is that should be your celly if you ever score? You should
Yeah!
do
Oh,
the
you
kayak.
bet.
The
Yeah, you gotta do the you gotta Timu
yeah.
kayak. Yeah.
Full marks if you do. Full
Right?
marks. I haven't played, by the way, since like April, so I'm going to be pretty rusty.
I'll give you the first guy to ever skate by his own bench and chirp it.
That's very funny.
That is funny.
All right, why did you have a bad back?
We sold the stones on our front walkway that were useless. Because,
Yeah, patio stones, right?
Yeah, patio stones because chipmunks dug a bunch of tunnels in between them.
Oh, no.
And after watching Justin Fisher almost break his neck, and also my mom, and also my mother-in-law, we decided it was time to get rid of them. So we sold them on the Kijij because my wife is very good at
Kijiji.
the Kijij.
Yeah.
So,
The kayak.
yeah,
Should have sold the kayak on Kijiji. They could get $250 for that thing.
or just keep the boat and have it.
You know, Mrs. Dangle, you should probably sell that thing.
You're also missing.
Well-
You're missing the whole part where I get to invite myself up to his cottage because it's my goddamn kayak.
I don't know if that's how that works.
It's worked.
All right, so you sold the not kayak, your stones, on Kijiji.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with giant rocks: is they're very heavy. So I kept picking them up, but the problem was
Hold on, no.
what?
So the guy comes to pick up the patio stones.
The guy from Kijiji.
Right, now if I sell patio stones, go ahead and take them.
Yeah.
Steve,
They're on the lawn. Pick them up.
Steve bad back guy, what does he do? Knowing
B's a good person.
that for years he's had a bad back. Steve, what did you do?
Decades.
I helped load this person's van.
With your large stones.
Yes, the problem wasn't the picking them up; it was the reaching in awkwardly into the car,
Wow.
and then I was out of commission for like a week.
And here's the thing. Every stone...
And I kept thinking to myself, if only I used my kayak more, I'd have a stronger back.
Did you offer? Did you offer to help,
Yeah.
or did he ask?
I don't know because I would have just done it anyway because I am a noted great guy.
So here's
Maybe if you have an injury and you shouldn't be lifting things, you can be like, "Oh, sorry, I can't help. My back is bad."
Well, then you haven't considered that men are stupidly proud in many ways and often hurt themselves as a result.
Or buy kayaks on a whim.
Yeah.
so this flipping guy. Every stone that goes into that car.
Paddling guy.
Every stone that goes into, what is it, a pickup truck?
As a van.
Every stone that goes in that van, Steve knows. Every single time he drops it in, he knows his back is getting more and more effed.
Oh, and I'm doing 2 stones at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Because mama ain't raised no...
Why the fuck
And you're-
not?
Oh, I thought it wasn't even just like 2 stones or 1 stone. It was you just kept going back and forth with the stones.
Oh, there were like 75 stones.
So this fucking guy with a bad back is like, you know what? No.
He spent his whole day lifting things.
I'd rather not feel guilty about this later.
I'm going to get a sick tuck. And you're going to celebrate in
Are
my
you?
kayak, and you two aren't invited.
Is your back going to be recovered by then?
I'll fight through it. I'll pretend it's the playoffs and like risk the rest of my life for glory of the moment.
By the way, Jesse and I are going to miss the first game in that tournament.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Unless you can delay our first game
Yeah.
to like
Because we got to work.
10, because we have jobs.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do 10.
Maybe.
I don't know if we're going to make it for 10.
I'll try. I don't.
might be able-
We could make it for like a second period if
Yeah,
it starts
probably
at 10.
could. Probably could.
We could,
I'm just saying, like, does it count if we're not all on the ice?
yeah.
Like, if we're not on the
no,
team.
If I score
if
and you
Steve-
two aren't
yeah.
there, and there are witnesses to corroborate my story,
Yeah, that's his
it
goal.
counts.
Yeah. We're doing
right.
if you don't raise enough money and you can't play in this tournament and me and Steve score, you're fucked.
Fuck.
So you better raise some money.
I'll find some money.
All right.
I'll raise some
Better
money.
get an appetite on for that tuna sludge.
Salmon. It's
Hey.
salmon.
Oh,
By the
salmon
way,
sludge. Just think how nice that salmon would be if you enjoyed it in the middle of a pond in your kayak. You'll never know that joy.
next summer we're shooting a video with that stupid kayak.
Yeah.
We got to. Now,
Cool shit.
What? How are you guys gonna film it?
I'll listen-
From the
is-
shore.
I'll
Is that
listen-
going to be
Because
an
you don't have a
episode?
freaking boat.
Is that an episode
I do.
of Cool Shit?
Oh,
Cool shit with Steve, Adam, and Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just calmly kayaking.
Yeah.
Frenchman.
You
thing,
are.
pick
You're
up.
going to be kayaking. I won't join you, but you can do it.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, one of the guys that came to our live show a couple weeks ago mentioned to me that he tried making the Don Cherry sandwich.
Oh.
And I meant to throw to him while we were in question period, and I fucking forgot. So my bad, dude. But
Way to go, you suck.
what was really interesting about it, he's like, I tried making it, and he's like, after a couple of days, like, Don likes it. He's like, the salmon in the middle just hardened. He's like, so it's nothing like what Don said. So I think Don pulls it out of the refrigerator and lets it sit and melt again. Because he's got
But then that's how you get salmonella.
Because otherwise, it would be like a baseball hard, right? Because you can imagine mayo and salmon and all that kind of together. It would congeal and because
he
mayo's full of fat, right? So it would harden a little bit.
Does he just have like Mr. Burns syndrome? Like whoop 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 whoop, and like he can't get sick because he
Stuck
eats
in the
these
door.
sandwiches?
Yeah,
Yeah,
too
you
many,
can't get
there's
through.
too many
Oh, my
diseases.
count ahead.
Yeah.
Like, he can't get sick because he's having these tuna sandwiches.
See, the thing is that the tuna and the mayonnaise, with where they're at, they are like a pesticide for all other disease. So Don Cherry will live forever, which is amazing.
Side note, I am so excited for Disney Plus because I haven't watched The Simpsons in quite a while.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when The Simpsons are on Disney Plus, I'm sure.
Are they?
Yeah, because they own Fox.
Yeah, Family Guy's still on
I don't know
Netflix
who
though.
owns it.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know how the rights are going to be divvied up, but I know Simpsons.
It's
is coming.
only season 9 onwards, which is interesting on Netflix.
Yeah. So I don't know who owns the before that.
I started watching
So
some.
the not good ones.
Well, I've started watching, and
No.
they're actually really
The
funny.
new ones are pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one where they're in the house and James, what's his name? He's like the James Woods is like
yes.
when they're in the house and James Wood is like it's James Woods' mansion and they're trying to like survive. Or
Yeah,
whatever, and
that's a
people's-
two-parter. Yeah.
man. That was funny.
That's a great set
yeah,
episodes.
it's really good.
That's
You'd
the
be
end of the
surprised.
season.
There was a couple years there where
Yeah.
they're like, let's just go with obscene violence. That'll be funny, and it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But they got it back. It's good. I'm really surprised.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the middle ones they're kind of iffy, but then they go back to like more plot driven stuff, and just hilarity. It's really good.
Yeah.
I like New Family Guy.
Haven't done a Kayak episode
Oh,
yet.
Family Guy.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Simpsons, no.
Simpsons, nah. I've been watching the old ones.
When's the last officially good Simpsons season? What is the last season? Do we know?
Someone did a chart on it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's they did like it was based on its rating on some site. I don't remember what it is. And there's a point in the chart, and this point was several years ago now, and it was there are now more bad episodes than good.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was like, well, and how many years ago was the Simpsons movie?
And it was
Spider Pig.
Yeah, like, oh my God, the poor Simpsons. The poor damn Simpsons. Damn, I thought you were talking about the Simpsons.
No, we were talking about Netflix
Family Guy.
having Family Guy and all that.
Yeah, no, Family Guy was just like, we're one of 3 shows on television that's willing to say whatever it wants.
Yeah.
And they tried that for a while, and people were like, okay, it's one thing to get away with it. It's another thing to, does it have anything to do with anything, and is it funny?
And is it funny?
Yeah.
I think for a while that was just like it was just sort of stupid, but then they found their groove again.
Yeah, I've told this story a bunch of times, but we had to write in comedy class. We had to, which is the least funny thing ever, comedy class, but we had to write an episode of an already existing show and have it sound like the show and be good. And we were not allowed to do Family Guy.
Oh,
because the
Because it's
teacher's
too
like,
random.
yeah, he's like, listen, you can find it funny. It's just, it's got no plot.
right.
Oh my God. From Saul Harris. Oh, geez, Jesse, you want to go through that? Discombobulated. Oh my God. Okay, so this tweet
That's
is
what you're
from-
talking about, right?
Yes, this tweet is from 2017, so it only goes up to season 28. The movie was between season 18 and 19.
Of The Simpsons, yeah.
Oh my God. Now, there are a few years ago, there are now enough Treehouse of Horror episodes to fill an entire season. And season 25, there are now more bad episodes than good. So it's like rating on Rotten Tomatoes or something,
IMDb or something.
something or other. So the good versus bad episode thing is like, I guess a rating above 5. And it's only above 5 during one season from season 14 onward.
Ooh. Let's do the press conference.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
And we did have 2 things for the press conference.
All right, let's do them quick.
But I lost the thread.
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted, yeah. I've been yelling and screaming and crying, laughing. Holy shit.
2 things.
Yeah.
What do you guys see Jeremy Bracco's 1920 looking like? From King Lochner 16.
He's going to the Marlies.
Well, yeah, he's definitely going to the Marlies.
But if they have another injury up front before Hyman gets back, I wouldn't be surprised to see him. Although, strikes me that Engvall might be the guy that they would bring out because he can play center.
Yeah, Engvall or like Agostino is struggling to make the team, and I think he's been great so far.
You know what I see Jeremy Bracco as? The trade deadline guy. They don't have a first-round pick anymore. That's a guy that could be on an NHL roster right now on a not as good team.
I don't know.
You don't know if he's that good?
I'm not concerned about his points. Scored a ton of points last year. A lot of them were on the power play. I'm not concerned about his points. He's got to develop a better two-way game. And the Marlies have had really good success churning out good two-way players. They did it with Connor Brown, who was used to just scoring a ton of goals. And then he did. He was still the top scoring rookie in the AHL in his rookie year, I think, or led the team in scoring, something like that. And he developed into a good two-way player. Andreas Janssen, good two-way player. Kasperi Kapanen, good two-way player. Bracco's Sheldon Keefe's probably top project up front this upcoming season. On defense, it's obviously going to be Liljegren. Sandy might not even be there. So, yeah, Bracco's got to develop a 200-foot game. And if he does, look out, because he's super skilled up front.
Last thing, Red Shark Pack on our Reddit page had a great idea. When you switch to doing 2 episodes a week, will there be a press conference episode and a trivia episode? And I think that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
So on
Glad we thought of it.
Sundays, Red Shark Pack, thank you for this. On Sundays, we will do
Trivia.
Well,
And on
Or it's after Saturday.
yeah, I think we'll do the questions on Sunday because that's sort of the start of the week thing, right? I would do that because it's after the Saturday night games.
on Sunday we will do,
Press conference.
Press conference.
and on Wednesdays we will do.
Trivia. So we will see you Sunday. That's our next episode, and we're going to the full 2 weeks schedule. Everybody ready to go? Play hockey.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.